to read it because I'm not going to talk about the definition. So, the first reason why we do this is because we write what we know. And that makes sense. It's the easiest way to help people to write a story. But when you write something that's only what you know and overly specific to your situation, instead of people relating to it, it actually has the opposite effects. It causes the audience to wonder, who is this story for? It kind of feels like a therapy session rather than something that you can enjoy and learn from. The second reason why we do this and don't correct the issue is that we attach the characters, how the character acts and how the character is viewed by the audience as a complete reflection of ourselves. Basically, the character is us and we are the character, which is not true. The character is not you. You made the character. It should be separate from you, but we emotionally attach to it like that. And so any criticism that comes to the character, we feel like it will come to us. So instead of it being the criticism of the character, we feel it's like us. So we make sure that the character never does anything wrong. So the character just becomes completely perfect, impenetrable, no flaws, because that's how we want people to view us, which doesn't make sense because we have flaws as well. So that's even a bad reflection of us. Another reason we self-insert characters and do it poorly is that it's our ego. Our ego gets so big and gets so in the way that we don't allow our characters to make decisions based on who they are and their flaws and personality. Instead, we make the characters us, so they extend all the knowledge that we have to the story, even if the story doesn't need that kind of character. Imagine a story set in the 400 BC, with two kingdoms about to get into a conflict over trade and tribal differences. How would you feel if some random guy in a hoodie shows up and say, "Hey guys, you should just talk things out. Also, tribalism is bad." And the king and everyone else just agrees like, "Yeah, this guy is right.
Bruh.
He's very wise." No one would believe that story. And it also won't be a very compelling story. So please, what I'm saying for yourself and me is let the characters learn from the story. Let them learn within the story. It's their lived experience, not your lived experience. The character has to live their own experience. Based on what you've set them up to be, that's how they'll be expected to act. So, how do you do it right? Well, let's look at yourself. What elements do you think about yourself could make a good story? Could it be your backstory? What you experience in life specifically that you think would produce a good narrative? Or what personality types that you have or quirks that you have that you can put into your story? If you think that's good, select one or two. Maybe something you went through plus some of your personality traits, put into the character. I wouldn't recommend putting everything about yourself because then we'll go back to the negative. So get parts of yourself and put it in the character. And now you have your character. Character guy. So character guy has your backstory. Maybe you never had much friends growing up. I'm speaking hypothetically. It's not something I experienced. Anyway, you didn't have any friends growing up, and that made you reserved and shy. Okay, good. We've got those two things into the character. So now, what things now can we give this character to make them unique for them? Maybe, despite being shy, they really like mountain biking. They really like adventurous stuff. You see? So now you're making a character separate from yourself, They're their own thing. So this reserved person who never had any friends but still had a thrill for adventure. That's something they can have. So why do they have a thrill of adventure? Maybe they used to see videos of their cousins or something going out to do adventurous stuff, and they wanted to be doing those adventurous stuff. So now you're giving them motivations, goals. So how can we now make this character come out of where they are now? Because it's clear that they have the motivation to be adventurous. So how can we get them out of that into a situation where they can be adventurous? So you see, like that, you're slowly creating a character that has desire, that has motivation, and that will evolve through the story. So let me summarize real quick how you can do this. Well, you need to develop your character's personality. You need to describe their character traits. Give them character flaws. Also, you need to give them a unique voice. Compared to other characters, they're supposed to sound different. And I don't mean like physically sounding different, like the things they say based on their background. If they stutter, then they will have a stutter. That will affect how they speak. Maybe they'll choose easier words to say. If they're confident, then they'll speak maybe loudly, maybe over other people while other people are talking. That gives them a unique voice. And then you have to give them interesting quirks. Chew too loud. They rub their shirt all the time when they're nervous. Backstory, motivation, goals, and then allow them to grow in the story. So if you follow these tips, I assume at least, I'm more confident that your character, even if it has elements of you or has two big things from your backstory and from your personality, the character will still be interesting and the character will still be good despite being a self-insert. So, the cure for self-insert character syndrome, to make it positive in another way, is to still build the character. It can be an insert of yourself, but you still need to build the character. But if you want to avoid it entirely, that would be most preferable. Because then you have a character that is free to be themselves. But what do you think? Do you think it's better to have a self-insert or not to have a self-insert? Or do you think that self-insert can be done right? Let's talk in the comments. And I'm also open to ideas like for art discussions, if you can give me some ideas. And thank you for watching.